Chris Twin, we were looking at, on table 1, at new buildings and at the regulation side. Given the fact that regulations are defined by central government, not GLA, however, the precedent is set with the GLA asking for 35% better than Part L, for example, for many buildings. So what we're looking at is things the GLA could potentially overlay. First priority is back to the same theme of closing the gap on monitoring. In new build, there is already regulations for meters. There's already regulations for standards of output and BMS. It goes into most buildings, but there is not a pro forma or a protocol as to what data must come out, when and how, so that these guys can then actually use it. That should be in the new build regulations. It should also cover the construction process to make sure you're monitoring that the building is actually providing those as part of it, as a spin-off. The idea of minimum fabric standards, once again, is already in building regulations, but there's the opportunity for the GLA to ask for enhanced values. Because at the moment, those glass towers are blowing into, what's the word? It is pulling the building regulations and the GLA's attempts to be ahead of the game into disrepute. We ought to have minimum standards applied which are London specific. Then the idea of incentives. The fact that a lot of developers ignore or choose not to consider sustainability issues. How do we align some of the incentives with the end users? One example quoted, most commercial buildings have rent reviews, where there's a whole professional team trying to drive down the rent saying the building isn't performing well. So why not set up that as the incentive for a developer to demonstrate he has put all of these things in place, and therefore he provides them, he has a financial incentive to provide them during the new build. So it's aligning incentives across the divide of end users, developers, landowners, and constructors. Get viable enforcement mechanisms in place. Now, this one creates a certain amount of debate, but the fact is, it's the absence of that which is allowing people to bend the rules. We've got to focus on how we address that one way or another. And then finally, as a final comment went on, zero carbon for non-domestic buildings, because we have it in place at a basic level for housing, but we don't have it yet for non-domestic buildings. And then to take a leaf out of, for example, the UK GBC's publications, how do we then have a route map from regulated energy to include non-regulated, unregulated energy, to embodied energy, to then whole life energy in a route map, an escalator for the next 10 or so years. Thank you.